What question are you trying to answer with the experiment? Will the measurement you are using be able to answer that question? How does this experiment fit into the overall learning path? What are the possible outcomes? For each outcome, what would be the next step? Remember, with all of these questions, your role is to support and guide as needed. Avoid judgment of their answers and encourage the team to think critically. Your goal really in all of this is to stimulate their thinking and help them develop a situational awareness. Now, if you have technical expertise relevant to the experiment, I know it can be hard not to chime in with your technical perspective. I mean, who doesn't want to geek out about the product and the experimentation? But please let them ask you first. There is a power imbalance here. Even if you don't perceive it, they do. And you might want your opinion to be thrown in the hopper with everyone else's, but it won't be. A single unprompted tip from you can derail a project for a week. Now, that said, you may be able to provide invaluable support with your subject matter expertise in an area that can be very challenging, and that is determining the sample size. Now, in the case of DOEs, sample size is the number of replicates, the number of times each treatment condition is tested. The biggest challenge, typically, is coming up with two of the values needed to determine what the sample size should be. The first value is expected variation, as in how much the thing you're measuring varies under consistent conditions. Now, ideally, you use historical data, but if that isn't available and you can't collect it for the experiment, estimating variation is commonly based on subject matter expertise and, if possible, similar products. So your subject matter expertise and awareness of other products might be key in estimating the expected variation to make sure they have an appropriate sample size to make sure you have a successful experiment. The second is a measure of practical significance called difference to detect. That is the minimum change in the response, again, the thing being measured, that matters. For example, imagine baking cookies and we're measuring the color. The experiment needs to know how hard that you want to look for any change, a slight hue change or a big change. And the harder you want to look, the higher the sample size. If it's not something you can ask your users about, it can be a bit of a judgment call. So your subject matter expertise can again be helpful in making these judgment calls.